Hello, Book of Face. Hello, Book of Face people. It is Trudy here from This Chick Means Business, and as usual, I'm going live on both my business page and on my personal profile. And this is a topic that I was talking about with a client a couple of weeks ago, and I promised her I'd go live on it or do an article or do a post about it. And this morning I was thinking, as is my wont, about stuff and things, so I decided to go live today. Now, let me preface this with, this is not to bag out coaches. We know what we know and we learn how we learn, and sometimes we don't know there is the next level around what we can do to be better coaches. So this conversation started with a client, but I want to share a story about my own experience about why this is really, really important for us as coaches to have this next level of understanding if we don't have it. Now, I went to a doctor back in 2017 because I had lumps in my breasts and I wanted to get them checked out. Now, they're all okay and everything's fine there. But what happened, this doctor spent an hour with me and she took me back all the way back to my teenage years and kept pushing about my mental health. Now, for those of you that don't know me that well, as a teenager, child, in my 20s and 30s, I had a delightful dance with depression and had taken that on board as part of my identity of who I was. Now, I did a lot of work to clear that and found that the sort of traditional go and talk to people stuff didn't work. I did the work on myself. And what happened with this doctor, and bear with me because it is actually quite relevant with where I'm going with this, is she wanted to know about the first time I felt depressed, the first time I self-harmed, all of the stuff and the things, right, that weren't relevant to why I was there for the appointment. And it felt nosy and it was quite intrusive. But what it actually did, it relit up all of those neural pathways in my mind, and I walked out of there feeling crap. And, you know, I don't know if she understands that kind of stuff, but these neural pathways, these thoughts and that, they don't go away. They just stop getting used because we remyelinate new pathways for better thinking, better action, better daily habits. So all of these old pathways, and let's face it, this is 25 years worth of pathways, were relit up like lights on a Christmas tree. NLP people will probably recognize that little statement there. And I walked out of there feeling bad. I walked out of there doubting my own process that I'd taken myself through to feel good about myself. And it was really triggering. And I ended up not going back to that doctor's surgery, all of the, you know, a whole heap of other stuff, because I decided to take charge of my own health and how I wanted to be looked after. But it's quite relevant to this topic. When you are coaching somebody, and we are taught this, I was taught this with my NLP training, you need to go back and you need to dig and you need to really pull things apart to get an understanding of where the client is at so you can help them move forward. And it sounds really beautiful, and it's work that I've done, and I've been able to support my clients to get an amazing result. But I've since gone on and learnt new things. I've learnt how the brain works. I've learnt more about neural pathways and how all of our physiology and everything works with us or against us, cellular set points, all of that stuff that we weren't taught at coach training, right? So what I've realized, and what this client and I were talking about, is the danger of digging, and digging for the sake of digging. Like, you can ask a question from somebody and they can say, yeah, I had this experience as a child. Great, you've got the experience. You don't need to dig and dig and dig to get the nitty-gritty of it all, because that doesn't actually serve the client. Now, you might have amazing processes that then allow people to heal from that. But my question is, Do we need to sit people in hours of pain, relight up all of those old neural pathways from old experiences and events that don't really matter anymore? They've happened. Help people pull out the lessons for the relevance of now. And then if people need healing from that, work from a healing perspective. But just be careful about leaving people sitting in their pain too long. Because the more I learn and the more I study, the more I know that we can heal a lot easier than what we may have been led to believe. Now, this is a general statement because I know from having experienced very deep trauma, and I know there's people that have experienced a lot of pain. I don't want to sound trite, and I'm not disrespecting your experiences. But what I found is being able to make the decision that that was that, okay, what did I learn from it? How is it impacting me now? What decisions and choices can I make to release it and let it go and move forward is a lot more empowering for me as a client, and it's a lot more empowering for my clients as well. Now, this doesn't mean that we don't cry, that we don't let our rage get out, that we don't find ways to release it. But as coaches, is there a better way to support our clients to move forward? Do we need to sit them in pain for hours and hours? I no longer believe that we do, because the more we learn about our brain and our body and our nervous system and our physiology, and the more we empower our clients to actually make empowered choices rather than sitting in a space of feeling like a victim and feeling helpless, the better we are at helping them move forward. So I would love to know what people think about this. Digging for the sake of digging, we don't need to do that anymore as coaches. It's like 1980s coaching style now. Like, let's look at ways to support and empower our clients to make those decisions to move forward. And it might sound easy, but what I've found is it can be. I know, who would have thought, right? And when you set your clients up in that space of it being able to be easy and giving them permission to allow their healing to be easy, to allow their lessons to be embraced and learnt a lot more easier than what traditional coaching and stuff can lead people to believe, watch your clients' transformations just skyrocket and go through the roof. So I'm not seeing any comments on the lives. Good morning, Todd. I would really love to know everyone's opinion on this. Now, this isn't about jumping on the thing and sharing, you know, all your bad stories. This isn't about bagging out modalities or bagging out particular trainings or coaches or sessions. This is about awareness. It's awareness for coaches, and it's also awareness for you as a client. For you, if you're going to see a GP and they want to spend hours pulling apart 20, 25 years of your mental health for no apparent reason. And to be honest, that particular surgery had psychologists and everything, so I walked away wondering if she was setting me up to go and see psychologists, if she was deliberately looking for something that wasn't there anymore. So be very aware of how the people you're working with are approaching your work. And this goes for business as well, because let's face it, business can be really, can bring up all your stuff too. It's not just personal development work, it's business coaching. It's all forms of coaching and healing. So just be aware of how you're feeling. Be aware that you don't have to light up all the neural pathways of 20 years of pain to change how you're moving forward now in your life. Coaches, if you've got questions or anything and you're not quite sure if what you're doing is really helpful or potentially harmful, feel free to private message me. I'm really passionate about this. Having spent so many years working on my own mental health, having gone to see professionals for support, and having found that pretty much all of them left me feeling worse or frustrated, and I wasn't feeling empowered to make changes within my own thinking. I do have a lot of passion for this subject. So feel free to post your general comments. Remember, no bagging anyone out. We want to improve the industry. We want to improve our own opportunities and results and outcomes. Oh, hang on. Here's some comments. A problem well stated is a problem half solved. The digging into stuff is important to work out the triggers to certain events in life. Yeah, digging for the sake of digging though. Hi Chris, hi John, hi everyone. Oh wow, here's a whole heap of things. But what I've found now is you don't need to do a lot of digging. You can ask a couple of questions, and most people that I work with, and you want to work with people on their own self-awareness, will actually be able to start self-reflecting pretty quickly as well. So let's be aware of how we're setting our clients up for success, and keep posting in the comments. I've got to go do some stuff. I've got a call to make, and I look forward to continuing this dialogue. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Bye.